electro synth pop pioneers inventing their music in the early 80s.
To this, everybody. Bing bong bong bing dong ding dong ding dong ding dong ding dong.
Me meeting someone who's a vegan.
Yeah, look at your shoes.
Des rubans en herbe.
Ribbons made out of grass. That is very clever, Tilly.
And this was the travelling builder knocking at my door, offering to build a pool in my back garden.
First, I dig a great big hole. Like that, and then fill it up with lots and lots of lovely water. Brilliant.
Hello folks, welcome back to the Carousel of Smell. I'm going to be honest today, I was struggling with an idea, but then I came up with one. Before I tell you what it is, the title and thumbnail might have given you a pretty big clue, but before I get into that anyway, don't forget my recommended USA-based fragrance sampling site is decantboutique.com. Please go there and use my code MrSmelly10 for 10% off a huge range of excellent designer and niche fragrances for you to sample. My recommended UK-based site is fragrancesamplesuk.com, and there your code is MrSmelly1977 for 10% off a massive range of stunning scents, both highly recommended by me and linked in the description of this video. Here we are, into August a bit. I have to admit, I don't see too many other fragrance YouTubers say this. Sometimes I am struggling for, like, what do I say next about fragrances, you know? I'm not getting a new hat full of free ones from people or clones to review every single week. And I've got quite a big collection, but sometimes you sort of don't always have an inspirational idea. And then I sometimes try and do something a bit different. So I've done something a bit different, but it's a bit the same too. So what I did was I went to ChatGPT and I said, list the top 10 most classic gentlemanly fragrances ever. And I found that if you do that 2 or 3 times, each time it gives you a slightly different list. I've got most of them, but at least I'm not rehashing everything you've already heard of about my collection, because I do a lot of those kind of fragrances. There's a couple in here I don't actually have, so maybe I should get them. Let me know what you think. I'll try and rattle them off quick. And I'm going to kind of use the ChatGPT, AI, System 10, whatever you call it, Skynet description of each fragrance. Let me know what you think of this concept. The first one they've come up with in this list then is Guerlain Habit Rouge, 1964 release. I love this one. Notes lemon, rose, leather, vanilla and amber, they say. White's gentlemanly, often described as Shalimar, that's another Guerlain fragrance for men. Habit Rouge is rich, elegant and slightly flamboyant, like a well-tailored red velvet smoking jacket. I think it was originally maybe themed after the attire of people who go hunting, but as not everyone's into fox hunting anymore, not that they ever were, that's probably not how they market it anymore, I'm guessing. Great 1960s release, really like it. At nortonandwilson.com you can now get 20% off when you order any 2 or more individual 100ml bottles. Just add your items to the cart and the discount will be applied automatically. Okay, next suggestion then from the ChatGPT people. Editor, please insert picture and caption now. Knees 10, 1925 release. I didn't know that. I've actually never smelled this. They say notes leather, musk, woods, citrus, spices. Sounds good to me. I think it's reasonably affordably available still today in the modern formula. White's Gentleman, the original leather fragrance. I'm learning here with you. Sophisticated, dry and aristocratic, a bit like me. Favoured by artists and intellectuals. It sounds exactly like what I need then, doesn't it, guys? Okay, so let me know if you've tried that one. I'm not even going to give you note listings. Chanel Pour Monsieur, 1955. I've mentioned this one many times. A great classic, and this one has notes in their listing of lemon, cardamom, oak moss and vetiver. Why is it gentlemanly? Understated, refined and effortlessly French. A scent for quiet confidence. It is. It's really nice, fresh, green, bit of ginger in there that they didn't mention. I would have said lavender too, and it's quiet confidence. That's a good description. It's a really good one if you like your old school fragrances. Not the strongest performer, but who cares? It's supposed to be quiet confidence. Okay, next one. Can you guess? Guerlain Vetiver, 1959. Let me know in the comments which ones had to be in there that they've left out. There's loads, obviously, but there's only 10, so you can't include everything. 1959 notes, vetiver, as you might have guessed, tobacco, citrus, nutmeg. Why? It's gentlemanly. Well, let's find out. A crisp green, no-nonsense classic. the olfactory equivalent of a freshly pressed linen shirt. And I'm wearing a linen jacket. It's my summer uniform. I will dress up differently soon. You're probably bored of seeing it. Great fragrance. Good for the money as well. Yeah, of course. Had to be in there. Well, it didn't have to be. It didn't have to be. Dior Eau Sauvage. Not many surprises, I've got to be honest with you. Eau Sauvage 1966 notes lemon, basil, rosemary, jasmine, vetiver. Why it's gentlemanly, clean and intellectual. Worn by Alain Delon, R.I.P., and a generation of men who knew elegance wasn't loud. I love that. Great citrusy fragrance. And the early adverts were kind of men in post-coital or pre-coital situations, getting out of the shower and stuff. And it was nice old cartoons they used to advertise this one. The modern formula is still good. There are vintage ones too. Let's not get into that. Okay, next up, no surprise, this one made the list, right? Acqua di Parma Colonia, 1916. But some of you, maybe this video will go viral and people will discover my channel who didn't know it. So they're not going to be feeling that this is repeating things I've already said. And we have a note listing of lemon, neroli, lavender and sandalwood. There's a lot of other, the Bulgarian rose, oak moss. It's really, really good. Verbena. Why it's gentlemanly, effortless Italian charm. The cologne of gentlemen who summer in the who spend summer on the Amalfi Coast. Well, yes, and all Acqua di Parmas have an element of the. You could describe half their range, if not all, in that way. But this was the original classic from Acqua di Parma, and if you're going to find that brand, if you're not a frag head yet, maybe watching this video, in a lot of your department stores, don't overlook them and go straight to the more expensive or hyped brands you may have heard about. Acqua di Parma is really good, and the original Colonia, I know they've got a new version too, like a parfum or stronger version, but try the original too. Don't overlook that. And next up, again, you got to put this one in, I guess. Number 89 from Florist, 1951 release, orange, lavender, nutmeg, and sandalwood. There's more. There's rose in there too. Why it's gentlemanly, a dignified British fougere. I don't think it's a fougere really, with literary cachet. Ian Fleming wore it. The bloke what wrote James Bond. They say, but not everyone agrees. It is really good. It's a very stuffy, old-fashioned fragrance. It's like a really good bar of soap. You might like that. You might not. Let me know down there. I haven't got this one, so here's one I haven't got. Penhaligon's Blenheim Bouquet. Editor, oblige me, please. 1902. Imagine that. I've heard Winston Churchill. Yeah, they've said this. Okay. Notes: citrus, pine, lavender, pepper. Why it's gentlemanly, regal, dry, and unapologetically aristocratic, named after Winston Churchill's birthplace. I didn't actually know that. Interesting. But in 1902, they wouldn't have been thinking of Winston Churchill because he wasn't really a big deal then. So he must have then decided he liked it after that, I guess, right? See what I mean? Anyway, I must get that, mustn't I? Have you tried it? I think famously really, really nice smelling, a little bit short-lived, but I don't mind. Okay, next one. And I've actually not got this. I have featured it once or twice before, but I don't have it anymore. Caron Pour en Homme. This is 1934. Notes lavender, vanilla, and musk. It's very lavender-ish. If you like lavender, you'll love this. If you don't, you won't. Why it's gentlemanly? Here we go. A romantic and powdery lavender that's soft yet masculine. Worn by everyone from Serge Gainsbourg to Johnny Depp. Okay. I'm not sure I quite like Johnny Depp overall. I'm not sure I would think of him as a classically gentlemanly gentleman. Do you see what I mean? But an interesting fragrance if you like lavender. Okay, finally, well, I'm very happy that they included Bois de Portugal. They've mentioned the Frank Sinatra thing. Beautiful bergamot, lavender, sandalwood, and vetiver. It is absolutely beautiful. Still in the modern formula. Not quite as good as it used to be, maybe, but really, really grown up. Old money fragrance from Creed. Don't rush to the Aventus or the Aventus Cologne or Viking necessarily. You might like those better. Bois de Portugal for your evening and formal wear. It really is a manly classic for the gentleman of taste. But that's enough about me. We'll leave it there for today. Let me know if you liked this. I try and do something slightly different. I know that was a top 10 gentlemanly fragrances, so not that different because I do those sometimes. But I try to do it in a different way. Which ones has ChatGPT or the internet completely missed? Which ones would you have included? And which ones in the list, perhaps, do you think weren't worthy of inclusion? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below, okay? We'll see you in the next video. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. And although sometimes life can stink, at least we can always smell good, right? Bye-bye.